So best believe and understand.
You too close.
If whatever you planning ends up hurting my brother in the end, there is nobody on earth that can save you from me. I eat punks like you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm tired of your messy queens coming in here messing with my family. Either you can get in line, or you can be removed. It's your choice, bitch.
So you pepper the pig looking ass nigga.
Hey, all is good. Yo, all is good, man. I need
What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from A Connection TV here on YouTube, the one place on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing me, definitely hit that subscribe button because it's free to do. Like this video because it's free to do. Leave comments because I love reading y'all's input, especially on Love is Blind Season 4. Okay? And then I also have two other sites that I want you to go to. WatchACTV.com, which you saw a clip at the beginning of this video. It is my own online streaming platform. I'm an indie artist trying to do big things, and the only way for me to do big things is for you to subscribe and support, so that would be amazing. And if you're not able to support on the online streaming front, you can definitely buy some merch at actvshop.com. Anyways, I have a lot of notes. We're gonna go through the notes. I watched the episode a couple days ago because I've been watching my babies, my little nephews, their little puppies. And so they've been taking up my time. And then I've started to do productions for WatchACTV.com. So I haven't had that much time to like review content for YouTube. But baby, when I tell y'all I watched Love is Blind, the latest episodes, and it just blew my mind how messy these producers are at Kinetic. What? Oh my God, it was so good though. It was so good. It was so good to watch. So I'm gonna go through my notes and then I'm gonna, comment on my notes. So Kwame's apartment was trash. I could not understand. Well, no, I can't understand that because I know people that live like Kwame. I know people, and I know people that live like Kwame, and it is what it is. They can have this nice exterior, they can have this great personality, but when they're in there, especially if they live by themselves, if they're in their own little bubble, and then maybe they don't have a lot of guests over or whatever the case may be, they live the way they live, and it is what it is. Looking at Kwame's apartment, I was like, no, sir. Looking at Chelsea's apartment, I was like, okay, I'm confused with, not confused, because she explained it. But you kind of, like, for me, like, I already see the dynamic is not going to work. I just see it. It's just there. It's not going to work. Kwame is more on the messy side, more on the, bachelor side, more on the I can care less side, more on the I work remote, so I don't have any reason to do anything outside of what I'm doing naturally side, versus Chelsea, who's, like I said, that corporate chick, that make money chick, a little bit more organized, a little bit more, that kind of lifestyle. And then the Pink, and I just, when I left my ex and I wasn't able to design our place then, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna design my place now. Just two completely different dynamics, and they don't mesh. I don't see the I don't see the connection. I'm not saying that Chelsea had to have lived messy for me to see the connection, but I just don't see the connection between the two of them. Micah is different. She is nicer. Like, look. So, according to Cameron, who was married to Lauren since 2018, and Love is Blind Season 1 came out in 2000, right? I'm assuming that this particular season of Season 4 probably was done 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago. I don't know, right? So I don't know how Micah is today based on when this was shot, because Micah has been getting a lot of flack, or catching a lot of flack online for how she's been a mean girl, which is what I said in my first review before I even seen like any articles, anything like that. But even on this particular segment of episodes, she's nicer. And I'm shocked. It's like two completely different people. I don't understand it, honestly. It's shocking to me. I'm like, is this the same chick Like, I don't know. It's just interesting. It's very interesting. Kwame works remotely. Chelsea doesn't want to move to Portland. Kwame doesn't really want to move. So I'm a firm believer of not sacrificing for a relationship. There's too many people out here on the face of the earth to be sacrificing anything to be in a relationship. Even compromise is a bit questionable, because what the hell am I compromising in order to be in a relationship with someone? No. For me, and this is just me moving forward, because I sacrificed, I compromised, I did all that. I'm not doing that no more. For me, in order to be with somebody, we need to be 100% and maybe 97% on the same wavelength and having that common understanding about life before I consider to sacrifice or compromise. I'm going to just say this. I'm not sacrificing and or compromising a goddamn thing. Period, point blank. Now, compromise to me is like, I like fruit snacks, all right? So a compromise to me is, let's just say I'm in a relationship with somebody and they can't stand the sight of fruit snacks. It makes them feel some sort of way. I don't know. They see blood leaks from their openings of their body. I don't know, right? Whatever, kind of crazy thing. So in order for my, person that I'm in a relationship with to not see my, because I'm not going to not eat them. I'm going to eat them because I like them, right? So in order for my significant other to not bleed out of any openings of their body, I'll just keep my fruit snacks in my office where my significant other doesn't have a reason to go to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to stop eating something in order to be in a relationship with somebody, or I'm not going to stop being friends with somebody in order to be in a relationship with somebody. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to move from where my life is to be in a relationship with somebody. What? Like, no, I'm not doing any of that. For me, y'all may be, happy with doing that. Kwame maybe, he ain't happy with doing it. He's making it known that he's not happy with doing it, but he's doing it anyway. That's already a red flag. There's a difference if you don't give two F's about sacrificing, cutting off your fingers to be married to somebody or whatever the case may be. But if you do care, then why are you getting in the relationship? And I care. Why do I have to compromise who I am or sacrifice what I do in order to be with you? What? No. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Child, Jackie is a B to Marshall. Like, she doesn't know how to handle her anxiety, and Marshall at 26 is so mature. Okay, this is when Marshall's family is coming in, and she's having another freaking Jackie attack. And Marshall is so calm and poised. If I get loud, that's how my reviews are, okay? I'm a loud person, and when I'm feeling something, I get passionate. So I'm gonna just need y'all to deal or go see another channel. Because I have a feeling I'm going to get loud on this. Because I was screaming at my TV watching these couple of episodes. So just deal, sit back, drink something, and either listen and clean your house if you live like Kwame, or sit back and watch me and my crazy antics. Because I just have a feeling, right? This might be a long video. Get comfortable. Jackie is a freak-ass mess. She is. There's nothing about a Jackie that makes me feel compelled to say to Marshall that you should get with her. Jackie is going to be problematic every step of the way as a wife, as a girlfriend. Marshall and Jackie do not mix. Now, I don't know if she has the ability to mature enough for someone like Marshall is too mature to be 20. I'm like 26. What? I'm completely confused with all that. But she having another panic attack, child, because her family this and her family that and her family this and her family that. But we ain't even worried about your family right now. Marshall's family is coming to pay a visit. So get it together. Like what? Like why even on this show? And then going back to what Cameron said, my baby daddy, even though I love Lauren. Hey, Lauren. But Cameron is a fine white man. Cameron is a fine white man. What? Cameron said he got on the show because he received an anonymous text message in his phone and he actually replied to it. Say, I get so many text messages in my phone, anonymous. I'm not replying, no clicking, nothing. Because people be hacking stuff and all that. Lo and behold, it led to him finding Lauren. A text message, an anonymous text message led to him finding Lauren. I'm trying to figure out how the hell Jackie got on this. Did she audition or did she get another text message? Because why are you on this show when you know you got all these problems? Maybe she wanted a temporary fix and wanted to get away from her lifestyle or whatever. But she's just like, I just can't, I need time. This is gonna be a lot for me. It's not you, it's me. Child, Marshall family come in. You know, even the one girl, I hate looking at her mouth because she had something on her teeth. And I was like, is that lipstick? But it was like on her teeth when she was talking to Jackie, and then outside when they were on the porch. Like the dude she was with couldn't tell her, hey, ma, you got lick your teeth. Maybe it's, you know, maybe her teeth are stained. I don't know. It was hard to, what happened? It was hard to look past her teeth. But everything else was pretty. I liked the little baldy. She was giving me Jada Pinkett and Low Down Dirty Shame. I was loving it. You give me Jada Pinkett before the alopecia. Right. And so what happened? Oh, and so I like the fact that she was able to reel it in a little bit. Like, she was still kind of standoffish to me in the edits that we saw with the family or Marshall's family. But Marshall was just such a nice dude and was just like trying to like make everything work and flow. Like, even when he expressed how it was her, it was only her, it was her, it was other 14 other girls, but it was her. Like, day one, it was her. I was like, not according to Josh. According to Josh, baby, he was crying over everybody. And I don't remember them episodes of him crying over everybody. I really don't. I just remember the episodes of him saying he gonna beat up Josh. But outside of that, baby, Josh is in there. Ooh, Josh is a mess, baby. He's a whole hot shitty mess. Oh, I can't wait to get to that segment. But, you know, Jackie is being Jackie. And I think the little meetup went well. You know, the little meetup, it went all right. But I don't know. I feel for Marshall. I really do. Marshall's family comes in, and I'm like, oh, Marshall. The family is cheering him on. I feel bad for Marshall. Marshall's family was nice to her. Paul is 28, and Micah is 26. Micah doesn't want to live in his apartment. Paul doesn't want to move. So we get to see Paul's apartment. And these apartments. If y'all would have came to my apartment when I was 28, it was clean. It was organized. I didn't have a lot of living room furniture. I had a futon and a desk in the corner. And then I had, like, you know, bedroom furniture, and then it was just a kitchen. I lived in a one-bedroom apartment in New York. So, but yeah, like everybody else's apartments is not, it's like, what? Like, Paul's apartment didn't look like another person could live in it. It was a one-bedroom, and it was tight. And I couldn't understand having 2 3-seaters away from each other. Or was that two seaters, like 4 feet away from me? I couldn't understand that. I didn't he's got this from off the street. Sounds like, oh, Jesus. And then got this from somewhere else. I was like, okay, this is not my zhuzh. And then you're looking at Micah, and I don't get that from Micah. Like Micah's like, well, we're just gonna have to move. And Paul's like, well, I don't want to move. And like, in that second, you see the attitude. But I'm like, y'all didn't talk about this in Mexico? Y'all had no time in the world to discuss real life in Mexico? Like, I'm just confused with that aspect. Like, people seem so confused when they walk into these people's apartments. I can understand that. Chelsea is 30. Kwame is 32. Kwame's mom's voice is muted. She is not here for it. She didn't want no parts of Love is Blind. She didn't want to be on the show. His whole conversation was muted, and I was like, dang. Then mama said she didn't give her blessings. I was like, yikes. Ouch. Kwame gets off the phone talking to Chelsea. Chelsea wanted to be in the room. Kwame like, look, I know how my mother is. She probably gonna have a problem with it. And so I don't think you really need to be in the room for this, because it's not, like, my mom is not gonna be your father. Like, Chelsea's father was like, all right, congratulations, this is amazing. Nah, that's not Kwame's mother. So he knew that, and he did not receive the blessing from his mother. And you can tell he was, like, visibly hurt. And I don't know how long this scene took or what we missed, but Chelsea just seems like she does not give a damn about any kind of feelings that Kwame has at all. And that's another red flag outside of the mixing of the lifestyles. Like, she just, like, everything is on her dime, and that's it. Like, we're not talking about anything else you have to be concerned with. I'm just talking about me, and everything better be a yes. And it's so, like, interesting, the dynamics of how real life is versus the trip in Mexico. Like, what? Like, I just don't see it for Kwame and Chelsea. And where I was cheering Chelsea on in the first half, I'm now cheering Kwame on in the first half. And, like, I just don't see them working out at all. Am I the only one? Tiffany and Brett talk about finances. Brett is fancy and she isn't. Brett's carry-on was $1,200. Tiffany wants him to pay all the bills. So I don't know if y'all took this like I took it, but basically Brett is very, I said this the last time, but he just don't give me standard, typical straight dude. Like, do straight dudes like Brett exist? Sure. But we see the rest of the men in here. And like, they're clearly identified. Clearly. We get to Brett, and Brett is a studious. Brett is into the finer things in life when it comes to clothing. He spent $1,200 on a carry-on. Like, you go to Brett's apartment is nice. Okay? He has electronics through the house. He has a vacuum robot. Like, what? That's not standard heterosexual. Now, I'm not trying to say, I said it already. But whatever, the 7% of men that are Bretts, that are straight, do exist, but how often are they found? And how often are they already single? And how often do they not have kids? So I don't, you people will be like, Brett, we heard Brett's story about what happened and why he stayed away from like long-term relationships because of what happened with his brother, and all that's great. Okay, cool. But I'm just telling y'all, if we talk, I spent $1,200 on a carry-on. What? And then she turned around, she making breakfast. She making a meal. Mind you, she don't know how to cook worth a damn, which is okay. But the way she came across was like, well, you're going to be paying for everything anyway, because, I mean, that's what you're going to be doing. And I was like, then they went into a conversation saying like, oh, Brett was like, oh, well, we could like split everything in half. And she was like, oh, yeah, okay. She didn't really give me like, yep, that's what we're going to do. She was like, I mean, I hear what you're saying. And then he was like, well, what would it be like if I'm Venmoing my partner because we're splitting half on everything? She was like, she was not giving, yeah, I'm willing to split half on it. She was not giving that. She was like, you can just pay for everything. I was like, okay. Maybe I read it wrong. Maybe y'all looked at it different. Bliss and Zach are on a yacht eating. Zach proposes to Bliss. Wow, Bliss says yes. So Bliss brought her happy ass back, okay? She came to the little diner, and she kind of paid him all the way through. But you could tell it's one of two things. Either she wanted to get back on television, or she really liked Zach. And or two things could be true at the same time. But she had a little diner thing. She was like, all right, well, I'm about to leave. And I was like, ooh, pay it, baby, pay it. Like, let him know. But then she showed up at his house, at his apartment, and he cooking this nasty ass steak that didn't really come out well, and some mushrooms and like carrots with cottage cheese. I was like, okay, I don't know what that is, but okay, whatever. How'd she get back into the scenario? Again, she probably liked him and she wanted to be on TV some more. And so Zach is he's extremely intelligent, which is interesting, but he's extremely awkward. And when I say intelligence, I don't mean like book smart. I mean like the way he be giving Paul advice, I'm like, wow. And the way he's intuitive, well, he's a lawyer, so he should be. Like, he should have some insight or foresight. And I'm just like, wow, it's just interesting how he's carrying these conversations and talking about the things that he's talking about. It's just Zach is a very, very interesting, peculiar, in-the-face looking man. And why is Bliss back with him? One of the two things that I said. But whatever, she back with him. They get on the yacht. He proposes. She says yes. Okay. I mean, he just literally embarrassed you on television, didn't choose you, and now you deciding to choose him? Okay. I mean, I hope it work out. But that's it's the most peculiar relationship. Child, I don't know. Micah's parents seem great when they meet Paul, and Micah was great towards Paul's mother. Like, Micah and Paul's mother actually favor each other. Paul's mother was like gobsmacked by Micah, and the parents were kind of like reluctant and kind of like, I don't know. He seems cool. The dad was like, well, his name is Paul and I'm a Paul, so he has to be a great person. But it's interesting because the parents were like, I hope that Micah doesn't get her feelings hurt. In the first half of Love is Blind, Micah was the bully. Micah was the mean-spirited girl. And now we're talking about Micah not getting her feelings hurt. It's interesting because Micah has become a nice person this particular half. So it's really, really interesting. Jackie tells Marshall he's not doing grown man stuff. They had a disagreement and he goes to his apartment to take a second. Then he comes back to talk to her. Jackie says we aren't having sex. Jackie says she needs a man that dogs her out. No, I'm saying Jackie needs a man that dogs her out. She's not used to nice guys at all. Marshall needs to run. Marshall claps his hands at her and she says, don't clap your hands at me. Marshall says, make me feel like something if you want me to make you feel like something. She says, if I'm not doing that, then why are you with me? Then Marshall says, I see you as a project and I saw potential. Whoa. First of all, let's dial back. I had to get through my notes just to make sure I was where I needed to be. So we get on the clip and Marshall's coming back in a somber mood. As soon as he get out the car and he got his backpack, you already know something went down and it was because of Jackie. You already know it. Like, Jackie has become the villain. Period. Like, is there any woman that I'm on their side this particular season? I want Tiffany and Brett to work out. I can say that. And I want Chelsea I want Chelsea and Kwame to work out. I feel for the four of them. But with regards to Bliss and Zach, I don't really care. With regards to Marshall and Jackie, I'm Team Marshall all day long. All day long. Because the way that Jackie treats him is atrocious. And I for one, can't well, he sees her as a project. And he also sees the potential. Baby, you could have missed me with that. I don't give a damn how slow Jackie appears to be on TV. Because she heard it, she responded to it, and then gave him a hug. Well, maybe she found the truth in it, baby. But he was like clapping, and then her hood came out. It was like, who you clapping at? Don't be clapping at me. Baby, you want somebody to be aggressive, though. You want somebody to be aggressive. Come to find out that Jackie is not satisfied. Well, when it was in Mexico, Jackie said he had more than enough pipe to lay inside her. Right? That's what she was ranting and raving about it in Mexico. Then we get back to the States, and now he not aggressive enough. He not slapping her around. So says Marshall, slapping her around the bedroom and stuff like that. Marshall is really, really a good guy. Oh, he's such a nice guy. Like, what? This brother said, baby, I see you as a project. What? Marshall, run. Marshall, run. You don't have the time. Well, you're only 26, so maybe you do have the time, but that is not your responsibility. Marshall, run. If you already know that this person is going to be a project, run. Because you're already having these like inner deep feelings about everything now. And you want to get married to this problem child? You want to get married to this emotionally distressed human being? She's wrestling with so much in her mind and her spirit regarding her family. You want that baggage in a fresh marriage? What? And you ain't even getting nothing for it. It's not like, I can understand if y'all went into marriage for 3 years and y'all got paid $100,000 or something like that. You ain't even getting no money to be in this. And all you getting is heartache and turmoil. And you're really trying because you felt something in the pods? What? Like, I get it, but I don't get it, because she has displayed nothing to make me feel as a viewer that Marshall should even waste his time. And when he said, you don't even make me feel special, so how am I supposed to make you feel special? I felt all of that. All day long, I felt all of that. I wish they would display what each person's love language is, because that is a huge factor on whether or not a relationship is going to survive or not. I was like, wow, he gave her his ass to kiss, and she kissed it by giving him a hug. Child, I ain't falling for it. She like Jekyll and Hyde. She like a whole Gemini in all caps with bipolar syndrome. And child, she got problems. Brett is taking Tiffany and he says, I feel great because I'm with you. Brett is a Cameron. Oh, so they were talking. I think that's the part where they were talking and hanging off the ledge or whatever they was sitting on. And he was just looking into her eyes and like, I love you. This is great. This is going to work or whatever. And that's when I was like, yeah, Brett is a Cameron. Brett is, Cameron straight. Oh, God. Brett is a Cameron. Brett is definitely a Cameron. I'll give him that. Brett is a Cameron because Cameron was the same way to Lauren. And Brett is the way that he is to Tiffany. He's talking about, I ain't even worried about the wedding because all I care about is that I'm with you. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to work out. I'm stressed. Wow. Okay. Zach and Bliss move in together. I don't really care. Kwame wants to travel the world with his partner. This was very telling. He doesn't want to have kids right now. Chelsea asks, do you want to settle down? But settling down doesn't mean to have kids. Kwame says, I'm not sacrificing, but I am compromising. And she says, welcome to marriage. And that's where I stop. He says, you have to agree. I'm compromising a lot on my side. He says, consider how I'm feeling in this moment. And she says, consider it. Baby, listen, let me tell you something. When this bro would have ever came out her mouth and said that to me, it would have been a dub. Marriage is over. Marriage is annulled. I'm not getting married to someone like that. What are you talking about here? And like I said in the beginning of this review video, everything is on her dime. This man is sitting at the house watching her dog when she go to work, calling, hey, baby, how are you, baby? Mwah, mooches. Taking stuff out her teeth and shit in Mexico. He's sitting here talking about, oh, I got to move because I work remote, but you can't move. You can't, I got to go to your life. I got to give up my friends, my soccer that he loves to play, and all this stuff to be married to this woman and leave my whole life. What? What is that? I don't understand what that is. What kind of marriage is that? Why one person got to separate themselves from everything that they know of just because he met this woman 2 weeks and got to know this woman for 2 weeks and some change? Now he got to uproot his whole life just to get married to her and she ain't got to do nothing? Are you serious to me? She ain't got to compromise, sacrifice. You best to believe your ass is lying to me. Ain't no way in hell I'm doing that. And that's what I was talking about. He got to give up everything he know to live with this woman that he really don't know. What? And the only thing she might compromise on is not having 75 pink items in the house. Instead, she's going to have 45 pink items. I know your ass is lying. And I got to sit here and watch this damn dog. What are you talking about? Then when she said considered, she would have got, baby, everything in me, I would have just slapped her. Like, what are you talking about? Like, if I was a chick that could get away with it because she's a woman. Like, I would have slapped her. What do you mean consider? What? Considered? Girl, I know you lying. I know you lying. Ain't no way in hell you gonna what? And then he said, you have to admit that I am sacrificing a little way more on my end. She ain't say nothing. What? Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. I'm not dealing with none of it. I'm not dealing with none of it. I couldn't understand. And then the whole talk about kids. Why she feel that settling down means having kids? Settling down typically means no more, hoish behavior. Settling down means going into a monogamous relationship. Settling down don't mean having kids. What? I was so confused by that. And she said, well, welcome to marriage. That's not what marriage is. That's not what marriage is. Marriage is a unified partnership between two people that are of like sound and mind, moving in the same freaking direction. That's what marriage traditionally is. What are we talking about? Oh, that's marriage. You got to give up everything you know and have kids. What? I was so confused by that. And then I could understand why she could understand what Kwame was saying. Let's travel the world together. Let's really get to know each other. Let's have these experiences with each other before we decide to have kids. And you 30. You got a couple more years than that, to have some goddamn kids. That I couldn't understand none of it. I couldn't understand none of it. Child, the producers are messy. For Chelsea's B-Day, the producers bring everyone back. Child, boom, honey. Child, boom, honey. Josh 30 comes in so sassy, and I feel like he was already on 10. And when I mean 10, he was already liquored up or something. He had a couple drinks. I feel like the producers had to convince him to come back, give him a reason why he felt that he should come back, and he was like, I need a couple drinks before I walk in here. I bet you did, or something else he was on. I don't know what they're providing at Kinetic, what kind of stuff they providing at Kinetic, but baby, he was saucy when he came in and sassy them up with them troll-looking ears he got on that head. I don't give two nothing about nobody's Josh. Josh is about to get it in my review. I can give two less about his syndrome condition he got. That's problematic for me. When you acting ugly because you got two things on your head that look ugly, we got a problem. And I'm calling you out on every ass issue about yourself. What? Oh, that's the worst thing to do. And then you got them things sitting up on top of your head and you acting like this on national TV. I couldn't even see where he could put the Q-tips through them ears. I really couldn't. I was like, what is going on? What in the Gremlin 75 is going on? Looking like the man from Goonies. What? No. Nowhere in hell. Nowhere in hell. And at first I thought he was cute till I realized that he had overgrowth on his ears. And I was like, why is he sitting here acting like he got overgrowth on his ears? Because he do. That's why he being a troll, because he looked like Shrek and them nephews. What are we talking about? He come walking in like this. You see stuff spilling from his orifices. What? A mess. And then felt cocky looking like that. Maybe should have walked in with earmuffs. I ain't here for nothing what Josh got to say. I ain't here for nothing of it. And if I'm unfair this, I'm sorry. If you got the same troll ears that he got, I'm sorry. He ain't showing y'all in the best of light. He ain't. Because you don't come on here messing with Marshall, and Marshall trying to do good by this horrible chick by the name of Jackie who got all these bipolar issues and emotional distress problems. Child, bye, girl. I don't give two damns about none of them. None of them. Zach and Bliss come in. Everyone is shocked because they don't like Zach. Marshall comes in by himself. Everybody like, oh, he by himself. What happened? What happened? Josh is drunk, loud, and messy boots. He going through the whole, wherever they at, restaurant, yelling and screaming, hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Like, whatever the hell he was. I was like, what is wrong with this man? He drunk because he know what the producers asked him to do, and he feel bad about it. He should feel bad about it. Them ears are bad about it. What? Get on my damn nerves. Listen, Marshall talks to Chelsea. He says they should be fine, but they had a falling out. Marshall is like, send Josh home again. Chelsea don't even know who Josh is. That's interesting. She didn't talk to him at all. That's interesting. Like, they don't talk to all the people. I don't know how that works. She don't even know who Josh is. Kwame talks to Tiffany about their different lifestyle. Kwame doesn't want to compromise so much, and I feel him. Tiffany gives him great advice. Tiffany says, look, if you already see the red flags, baby, grab them bitches and run. Or don't touch them at all and run, I think would be the advice. Stay away from the red flags. I think Tiffany was trying to tell him that. That's what I got data from Tiffany. And, side note, I never once said that any of these people was ugly on the show. I didn't say Tiffany was ugly, and I didn't say Chelsea was ugly. They both look like moms to me. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're ugly. I need y'all, the people in the back, to listen, okay? The most attractive woman on the show, personality-wise and physically, is Tiffany. Period. Then second to that would be, I was about to say Chelsea, but I don't like the way Chelsea is handling Kwame. Physically, I'll say, what's the girl name? Jackie. Physically, I'll say Jackie, but it'll be Tiffany, Jackie, Chelsea, and then Bliss, and then Micah. But either way, Tiffany is attractive, okay? For the people that felt that I was saying she was ugly. Calling somebody a mom doesn't mean that they're ugly. But anyways, Bliss and Micah talk. And they talk about Irina, how Irina tried to, push up on Paul, and Micah ain't having it. They are talking, and Zach comes over and lifts her mouth up to kiss her. That was so uncalled for, and that was so rude. That was so rude, and that was nasty to me. To me, that was nasty. People get a kick off of public displays of affection in that kind of nature. That was nasty to me. Don't do that. I'm sitting here having a whole conversation. You gonna take my neck up like this and kiss me, and you got food in your mouth? What the hell is wrong with these people? And then Micah like, how does the salmon taste? Girl, I wouldn't have asked that. I would have barfed. I'm like, what? But Micah knew what she was doing. She was like, I can't believe, Bliss, you came here to be with that man. Child, bye, girl. A mess. A whole mess. This show is a mess. Marshall talks to Brett, and Jackie wants to be slapped around in the bedroom and he wants to be more aggressive. Marshall's like, that's not me. I'm not that kind of dude. And in my notes, I put that Marshall is a grown man. He says that she is self-sabotaging, and she wants to, with everything that she's doing, she's self-sabotaging. In my notes, I put Marshall run in caps. Marshall run. But I mean, I don't know if they worked out or whatever yet, but I know the show's over. But it's like, oh my God, I feel so bad for Marshall. Marshall deserves somebody way better. When Jackie comes in, Brett tells Marshall to keep it together and that he is good. I like Brett and Marshall's dynamic. It's like big brother, little brother. And I completely appreciate that and respect that. I love the fact that we get to see 3 black men on this show act according. Outside of Kwame, engaging for a long time in his lustful, unresolved feelings about Micah. But how the 3 black men work with each other, and, I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. Then I'll put in here, Josh's ears look horrible. Why is he here? Josh is corny. He goes up to the ladies. He is so corny. Chelsea doesn't care, and she walks away. Because everybody in the restaurant sees what Josh is attempting to do. Even Zach, when Josh goes to talk and sit down with Jackie, Zach is like, I can't just sit here and let him do that. But no one does anything because Marshall is there. And so it's like, everybody does not like Josh, and I respect everybody for that. I really do. I think that's the most, that is so amazing from the cast perspective. Everybody knows what everybody is there to do, and everybody they don't like Irina for what she did, and they don't like Josh for what he's attempting to do. Even when Amanda comes back, Paul is like, I'm not having no parts of none of this, and I'm sticking right next to Micah because that's the person I'm with. And that's how you're supposed to react. That's how you're supposed to act. The fact that Jackie is sitting here entertaining this troll-looking dude is beyond me. It's beyond me. But then again, it's not, because she doesn't even realize the good-ass dude that Marshall is. I'm like, what? Marshall is that dude, because when he was dancing, when he proposed, he was dancing, walking up. You already know what type of dude Marshall is. You already know what type of time Marshall is on. And then when he cooked and then washed the dishes afterwards and said, all I want to do is take care of you and make sure you good. I want to lift you up. What are we talking about here? Let my baby get up and cook for me and make me gourmet meals and then wash the dishes and clean up after. What? Oh, baby, I was out. Child, what? Marshall can get it. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Come on, stop playing with him. Wasting all that good man over there. What? Child. Zach gives Paul great advice. Amber shows up, Paul's ex. Paul is like, I want no parts of it. Josh comes, put his hand on Marshall. Child. He is wasted, and all in Marshall's face. You can see it all in Marshall's face. Marshall is being so nice. He calls Marshall a bitch, and I'm like, oh boy, this boy is wasted. Oh boy, this boy is wasted. And for Marshall to be 26 and for Josh to be 30, wow, the dynamics of maturity and age. What? Marshall is chilling. Marshall is dealing. And I'm like, why? In my mind, I'm like, knock him out. What? Now, you know, the peaceful mind in me was like, well, what would be the point of that, Wes? Clearly Josh is drunk, and he's just clearly drunk. So why would you knock him out? He's not in his right frame of mind being this poorly toward Marshall. He is in his wrong side of mind being this poorly to Marshall. So maybe Marshall understands that. And maybe Marshall was like, you know what? I'm going to save you the embarrassment. But he's all hugging Marshall and I love you, man, and don't be a bitch and all this and all this. And then he like leaves him to the thing and Marshall was like, what the was that? Yes, what was that? Oh my God, Marshall is a great man. What? He says it's Mr. Still Your Girl to Marshall. Oh my God. When he said it's Mr. Still Your Girl, Marshall said, well, if you can steal her away from me, then you deserve her. Oh, that was the best reply. That was the best reply because I feel the same way. It is not worth exhausting, giving so much energy towards something that's not willing to receive you at your best. And that's Jackie. Jackie does not deserve Marshall at all. And so that's why he's able to say what he's able to say. If you're able to steal her away from me, you deserve her. Period. Josh tells Jackie that Marshall was crying all over the place for other women. Zach doesn't like that Josh is talking to Jackie. Josh asks Jackie if she's gonna marry Marshall, and then it goes off. I don't know about y'all, and I've seen some comments saying that, oh, this is the worst season or whatever the case may be. I don't know what the other seasons were like, but I like this season. The reason why I like this season is because it's so messy. It's got a lot of drama in it, but it's got a lot of drama with some phenomenal people. Marshall is phenomenal. Brett and Tiffany, phenomenal people. Chelsea and Kwame, I don't think they're going to work out. I really don't think they're going to work out, but they're phenomenal people by themselves. Paul, I think Paul is going to say no. I don't think Paul is going to get married to Micah. I don't think Paul wants to marry Micah. Or Micah doesn't want to marry Paul. I could be wrong. Honestly, I'm going to say it like this. The only couples that are going to say yes to each other, if they are going to say yes to each other, is Brett and Tiffany at this point. And Paul and Micah. Those would be the only two people that I would. But other than that, I don't see nobody else saying yes. I really don't. And if Micah and Paul don't say yes, I'd be not shocked. But I don't see Bliss saying yes to Zach. I see Bliss taking all her revenge out on Zach at the altar. That's what I see. I could be wrong. I also don't see Chelsea and Kwame saying yes. I don't see Kwame saying yes. I don't see Kwame wanting to give up his life like that. I don't. But I see Brett and Tiffany making it based on how the show is going. What do y'all think? Who do y'all think is going to make it? Sorry for this long review, but I had to talk about some things. Love is Blind is really, really good. And shout out to Cameron and Lauren for being together for over 4 years. Like, wow. The fact that they got married in 2018, but we didn't discover them until 2020. They took care of their, NDA. They damn for sure, they ain't say nothing. You know, Cameron did say it's been kind of problematic ever since the show came out, but they've been blessed as well. So, but it's great to see that they're still together. It is. Cameron is a wonderful man. And from what I've seen of Lauren, she's a great woman. So I wish them all the best. And I wish whoever says yes to each other out of this particular season the best too. But leave your comments below. Let me know who y'all think are going to say yes to each other. Thank you guys for watching, and deuces.